ARC Tutorials. This is Testing Concept Series. Today we are going to learn about beta testing. Extremely important concept, especially if you're working for an enterprise which is building its own product. Most of the cases you would also see this applied in your agile environment and agile projects. So hence extremely important for everybody to learn what is beta testing, what are some of the tools available, what are the advantages and what are some of the drawbacks. Let's get started. This is part 19 of the series. If you have missed out on the previous episodes, this is the index for you. Please make sure you check out all the episodes in the playlist so that you have all the concepts clear and you have continuity in your learning. Today we are learning about beta testing, episode number 19. Alright, so let's start with basics first. What is beta testing? Beta testing is a type of software testing that is typically conducted after the software has been developed and before it is released to the general public. Now please don't get confused with alpha testing. Alpha testing also does something similar, but the only difference is that in alpha testing we release it to a certain set of group of clients or customers or users. In beta testing usually is performed by a group of external users who are representative of the end users of the software. What it means is that beta testing is there are some defects, there would be some issues, there would be some problems in the software. That's what we are calling it out in the world. When a company or an enterprise launches a beta version, it means we are actually legally bounded by contract to the customers that this is a beta version which we are releasing only for a preview in so that people can try it out, and there would be some issues and they'll report back. It is not 100% ready to be released to general public. Some of the common reasons for conducting beta testing include identifying any issues or defects in the software that may have missed in the earlier process of testing. Trust me, more often than not, there are a lot of defects that get caught in beta testing. We also want to make sure that our application is stable and usable in a real world setting with a large number of users, able to handle the performance, usability, compatibility, accessibility, and much more. During beta testing, we gather feedback from the end users about the functionality and usability. Software, we make sure that our software is ready for general release to the public. In general, the beta testing will give the confidence to go live and to a larger set of stakeholders and business users. So what are some of the tools that are used during beta testing? Now, beta testing utilizes a lot of detailed tools. There is no one tool that is used. There is a lot of tools, right from test management tools to test automation tools. Feedback and collaboration tools are extremely important at this stage when you're working with the real users and business teams. You want to conduct a lot of surveys, you want to conduct a lot of usability interviews using user testing, SurveyMonkey, etc. At this point of time, the application is also ready to be tested for a full-fledged performance, and that's where LoadRunner, NeoLoad, JMeter, these tools are used. We also try and put our application under heavy stress and load so that we do the load testing thoroughly. This is very important because once you start opening up your application to a large number of set of users, it should not go down. The pieces, individual modules or functionality of the application should work smoothly even no matter how many users. So these are some of the tools that are used: LoadRunner, JMeter, Apache JMeter. For data analysis and data logging, we use Datadog, etc. So why is beta testing important? Beta testing is important because throughout the process so far we have employed all the users who were internal users. But now is the time to release a beta version to real world external users, and they help us discover any defects that are there or any gaps or any slowness in the application, any performance issues, etc. Beta testing helps developers stress test their software because so far we have been testing only with a small amount of data or users. When we put under beta testing, the large number of data increases, the number of users using the system also increases. Hence, overall, it's a very important step, one step before you actually release to the prod. Now, outcome of beta testing, right? Now, this is something that everybody should be aware of. What is the outcome of beta testing? So we measure beta testing through a report, or there are dashboards that give us detailed analysis of how many defects were reported, how many times a certain thing went unresponsive, how many times certain thing did not work, how many times it crashed, and so on and so forth. Those are all the issues, those are all the feedback, those are all the defects that are reported. The business teams and the IT team sit together and they review this particular outcomes and reports, and then they gain insights whether how to improve the quality and usability of the software. 99% of the time in the beta testing report you would see mostly issues with performance, load testing, compatibility testing, etc. This is also a good place where we do end-to-end thorough security testing of the data and making sure that you are compliant with all the data standards that are set. Advantages, obviously there are a lot of advantages, like we actually perform beta testing in a real world setting, right? Though the number of users has also grown big, but this is a real world testing, and you get to evaluate the behavior, performance, and much more. This is also a good place to collect valuable feedback from actual end users who are using your system. This gives us a lot of confidence to go and release the product to the prod or to a larger public. Improved quality, improved user experience, because at the end of the day, any feedback, any defects, any performance related issues that are reported, that gets addressed and improves the quality of code, and in general enhances the user experience. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages or drawbacks that beta testing has. Now this is a limited scope, okay? Again, you're not certifying your software based on set of small group of external users. You're trying to correct the feedback, you're trying to collect the insights from how they are using in the real world. You have limited control on it. The users may see a lot of various different types of errors, so you are really limited in control. You need to employ a lot of time and resources as you perform user testing, survey monkey reports, in-person interviews with business teams, etc. One of the important things that beta testing leads to in disadvantages is leaking of the data and confidentiality. A lot of times, a lot of details get leaked outside of the enterprise because of this, and raises a lot of concern about the confidentiality and data security. Limited compatibility. Again, we are not doing a full-fledged thorough compatibility testing, so the scope is limited in terms of the number of hardware or software configurations you would run beta testing with your users. Alright, so that is all about beta testing that you should know as a concept. A very important concept. Make sure that your concepts and fundamentals are clear, because you would hear these a lot of terms, especially as you start growing in your career. You might want to work with business teams, IT product owners, external users. So these are the terms, these are the tools that you need to get familiarized with. I hope it's helpful. I'm thoroughly enjoying bringing this series to you. I hope you too are enjoying this series. In the next episode, we will learn about sanity testing. And if you like my work and tutorials, please do consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/rtutorials. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.